Next on All Access.
You are up for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. What does that mean to you?
I'm very humbled that people would nominate me for such a prestigious award.
You know, it starts with these home run balls, and then they have a lot of intermediate passes, catch and run plays, and the running game, and plus, you know, a very athletic quarterback that can extend plays. And, you know, that's the type of play that, you know, can change the game, change field position in a hurry, and they're very capable of making.
Hi. How are you guys? Good. How are you?
Good. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You got it?
Mommy, look how much stuff I got.
Oh my goodness.
This whole thing, was that a combination of how the Patriots ended up?
They lost some practice time early in the year. They had eight guys opt out. Not irrelevant, but also not the reason that we're here today.
We said at the start of the year, the teams that best handle COVID will give themselves the best chance to win.
Hard to believe and even harder to put into words. But after 11 straight years in the postseason, there will be no playoffs for the New England Patriots. Hello and welcome to Patriots All Access presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. Happy holidays to you all. 2 games left in the regular season, and the hope will be to see this Patriots team try to finish strong, which was hardly the case last Sunday. So as mentioned at the top, there will be no postseason play for New England, ending a record 11-year streak. And with a 500 record, which is the best they can accomplish this year, it will end a 19-year streak with a winning record. Well, you saw the numbers, and the numbers certainly don't lie. Back in Bob's Discount Furniture Studios with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. And you know what? This is something that should not be overlooked. Think about that. 11 years. 11 years of making the playoffs. First time in since 2008 they haven't made it.
It's remarkable.
It really is.
It's a remarkable run of consistency, success at such a high level in a league that is frankly set up to avoid that. They want to have, you know, the weaker teams be able to build through the draft, and the draft is such a big part of what they do in the NFL and the schedules and everything else. So the fact that the Patriots were able to maintain their level of consistency really over the last 20-plus years, but, you know, for 11 straight years being in the playoffs, that's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, you tip your cap to it, and maybe just to add a little humor to it, I think everyone at home is like, well, you're going to be home in January now. We don't know what we're going to do, and we don't even know if we want you around, you know. So, yeah, you do. And I love what Matthew Slater had said. You know, he had gratitude for being part of such a special run.
All right, so here's the next question I have. Is this an aberration? Or is this, you know, a sign of things to come?
Yeah, that might not be quite as, you know, happy a picture as the other part. It all depends on the quarterback, Steve. I mean, I think that Bill Belichick, I know, can build a football team. I've seen him do it. They've won 6 titles. They've been to 3 others. I know that he understands what he's doing when it comes to putting together a championship-level football team. But without certainty at the game's most important position, Mike, and it's so hard to get that position right, whether it's through the draft or through free agency or a trade or some other way with a veteran, you just don't know how long it's going to take if you don't have that position tied down.
I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth, and I agree with everything.
We all do it well.
I agree with everything.
Some better than others, but go ahead.
I agree with everything Paul said, and I will double down and say, especially when you have Josh Allen, you know, Tua.
Yep.
You have Sam Darnold, I'll just throw him in there, in the division. But even then, Patrick Mahomes. Like, go down the AFC. Like, the AFC is a strong conference right now. So that part, I don't feel great about. But I actually don't think it's going to be that far until the Patriots get back, because I feel I'm subscribing to the Bill Belichick philosophy of he's got to be pretty motivated, because he doesn't want this attached to his name. Right. This is not to the level of the quality that we associate with Bill Belichick. And I always go back to the 06-07 example. Like 06, they had Riche Caldwell leading the receivers, you know, and Troy Brown on his, you know, end of his career, and they made it work to the AFC title game. But I felt like Bill, Paul, after that season was like, I can't do this again. I'm going to go get Randy Moss. I'm going to go get Wes Welker. I'm going to go get Dante Stallworth. And it was like, I call it, you know, the Bill Belichick sort of vengeance tour. That's what I'm sort of expecting to see.
All right, guys, don't go far. We can catch up with you a little later on the show. But we must move on with the sights and sounds from the Miami game.
Winters in New England can be brutal. Snow, ice, wind, cold. Many transplants head to South Florida to escape. And why not? The weather is fine. And those that could chose to root on their favorite football team. It was a chance for familiar faces to get reacquainted.
It's us and him! Ain't no going back, fellas! No going back! It's us and him, fellas!
For the Patriots to come up victorious, a run-based game plan with solid special teams and defense would need to be part of the recipe.
Matthew Slater knocks it backward. Pro Bowl type play by Slater. Tua takes the snap. He's looking over the middle. Moves up. He's hit. The ball floats toward the corner of the end zone. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson with his 8th interception.
However, for the second straight game, the Patriots couldn't find the end zone.
The kick is right down the middle. Make it 22 straight for Folk.
Folk is money.
Connects again. It's good.
4 field goals was all they could muster.
Runs it to the right. First past the 30, 35, 40.
On the other side of the ball, the Pats didn't have an answer for the Dolphins' ground game, who racked up 250 yards on the ground.
In what will be their 8th loss of 2020 since 2008. The last time the Patriots did not make the playoffs until this 2020 campaign.
Next on All Access.
We chat with Patriots captain Matt Slater.
My father taught me about this game, and the love I had for it came from him.
And later, you won't want to miss this holiday story.
Look, I found.
Ooh, a Care Bear, a purple one.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. By Gillette Pro Glide and Pro Glide Gel, 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke. And by Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots, proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off.
I'm Chase Winovich of the New England Patriots. Season greetings and Merry Christmas to you all.
I'm Lauren Spencer with your Week 16 Patriots Social Media Minute. The holiday season is upon us, and with it has arrived winter weather. Gillette Stadium was already feeling festive during last week's storm, and Patriots players were quick to share their snow day views on social. One of the best parts of the holiday season is spending time with family, and as J.C. Jackson recorded his 8th interception of the year during Sunday's game, his family was right there in the stands to witness it. This time of year is also the season for giving back, and the Kraft family never stops doing just that. Earlier this month, the Patriots Foundation and Patriots players teamed up with the Wonder Fund to donate over 100 Christmas trees and stockings to local families in need. And while Dante Hightower isn't around to celebrate the holidays with his teammates this year, he made a $10,000 donation in their names to help provide books to kids in his home state of Tennessee. That's all for this week's Patriots Social Media Minute. I'm Lauren Spencer.
Devin, congratulations on your nomination for the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Devin is not just a great leader on the field, but an amazing individual off the field.
If I can describe Devin in one word, it would be resilient.
Devin is amazing.
And he went out of his way just to come visit me. Thank you, Devin,
for being your friend.
He's an influencer, he's a motivator.
Time in and time out, you dedicate every ounce of you to everyone else.
I want the people to know how much an inspiration Devin is to the children in my neighborhood.
Devin is a phenomenal individual and has always remained true to who he is.
Because he has the courage to go where others won't, and to shine a light on an opportunity that few see.
He still tries to engage in any way possible to help others.
When I think of Dev, I think of a great husband, a great father, and also a great friend.
Devin McCourty exemplifies the best of humility and humanity.
Some of the many things that remain consistent about Devin are his resiliency, his integrity, his empathy, and his innate desire to help others.
The sacrifices and the things that he does and how he puts people before himself is truly remarkable.
Thank you for what you do, not only on the field, but in our communities as well.
And his strength in sharing his personal story gives others strength as well.
His involvement has given me a stronger voice and be a better mentor.
The best thing about him is throughout all of that, he never stopped caring about people. And that's what makes me the most proud.
But people often speak about legacy. And when they mention our legacy, I sure hope they don't only mention football. I hope they talk about speaking for those who didn't have a voice. I hope they talk about raising awareness for sickle cell and being a part of the criminal justice reform in America. See, when chasing success, you never know where it'll take you. Ahead of you is a future you haven't seen yet. You don't know exactly what will inspire your soul, or maybe being here today is a part of that inspiration. Keep your eyes open and follow your heart.
And we couldn't have been any prouder, right? You proud of Daddy?
Yes.
Okay, say love you, Daddy.
Love you, Daddy.
All right, a tremendous honor for Devin McCourty being nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. And we go from one nominee to another, Special Teams Captain Matthew Slater. And before I even get to you, Matthew, let's talk about Devin McCourty being up for this honor. Well-deserved if he gets it, right?
No question. I think well-deserved is an understatement. When I think about Devin, I could sit here all day and talk about him. He's one of the finest men that I've ever met, and that's inside or outside of football. He's so consistent in his character. He cares about people. He cares about people on a personal level, and he's invested so much of his time, his resources, his family's time, his family's resources in making life better for people. So if anyone deserves that award, if anyone, it's Devin McCourty. He has my vote times 1,000.
Well, speaking of nominees, you are up for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. And congratulations, just being up for that award. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's really an honor for me. You know, I think about the game of football, it's a tremendous game, and there's so many great men that are ambassadors for our game. And I look around the league at all the fantastic players that we have, and it makes me think how blessed I am to be a part of this. And I just respect and love this game so much. My father taught me about this game, and the love I have for it came from him. But he told me to always respect your opponent and always to respect the game. And, you know, I see God's handiwork on display every week with the Julio Joneses and the Julian Edelmans and the Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, man, the Lord gifted that guy. And it's an honor for me to take the field with those men. It's an honor for us to represent this generation of footballers. And I'm very humbled that people would nominate me for such a prestigious award.
Speaking of awards and honors, your 9th Pro Bowl selection. 9th. Did you get a chance to hear what your head coach had to say about you? And even if you didn't, I'm going to read it to you anyway. I'm going to quote what Bill Belichick had to say about Matthew Slater. He's got to be at the top. He's certainly the very best I've ever been around as a special teamer. Those words coming from him. First of all, did you even get a chance to hear that when he said it?
No, I didn't. Someone asked me about it when I was speaking with the media earlier. I didn't get a chance to. You know me, I try to stay away from that stuff. You know, it's very humbling that Coach would say that about me. He's coached some tremendous players, some of the best that have ever played this game, and it's an honor for me to play for him, and I thank him for giving me the opportunity that he's given me the last 13 years to pursue my childhood dream and to develop as a man, as a player. And I'm just so humbled that he would have anything remotely like that to say about me. I'm glad that he thinks I've done an okay job since I've been here.
Better than okay. Well, good luck on Monday night, and happy holidays to you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. You as well.
You got it. Matthew Slater, our guest. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Hi, Patriots fans. I'm Joe Cardona, and I'd like to wish you and yours a very happy holiday season.
Welcome back to All Access, presented by GEICO. The Patriots find themselves in uncharted water with just 2 games left in their season. Dan Roach wants to know how this Patriots team, accustomed to so much success, will finish out the year.
Cam's in trouble. Cam's going to get sacked. It was a difficult day in Miami as Bill Belichick and the Patriots were eliminated from postseason play for the first time since 2008.
Oh, it sucks. But it is what it is. It's the reality of the situation.
Meanwhile, this is the time of year when coaching opportunities open up. And with that, Patriots quarterbacks coach Jedd Fisch has been named the new head coach at the University of Arizona.
Allen stands and fires to the right, and it's intercepted off the mark with J.C. Jackson to pick it up.
The Patriots have 2 games left to play, starting with the AFC East champion Buffalo Bills on tap Monday night.
Everybody on this team is taking the same approach that we take every week. We want to be competitive. We want to go out there and win. Our ultimate goal is to win. We're not just going to go out there and kind of roll the ball out. We're going to go out there and compete and try to get a victory.
No one in that locker room wants to lose. We always want to go out there and play to win and put everything into this. And, I think everyone loves playing for each other in that locker room. And I think just going to, like always, just give it our all. Give everything we got on Sunday. So, that's just what we got to do.
Monday night, the Patriots will be looking to avoid a season series sweep at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots haven't been swept in an AFC East series in 19 years, the longest streak in the NFL dating back to the 1970 merger. For Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
All right, thanks so much, Roachy. Megan O'Brien here in the studio, filling in for Scott Zolak today. Let's check in with Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. Coach, you're in unfamiliar territory this week. Your team is out of playoff contention. What's the message to your team given the circumstances?
Yeah, no different than it is any other week. We'll approach this week just like we have all the other ones.
And Coach, I know around here you're not usually focused or interested in individual accolades or Pro Bowl selections, but yesterday it was announced that Matthew Slater earned his 9th Pro Bowl selection. Joining him was Stephon Gilmore and punter Jake Bailey. What can you say about what Jake Bailey's been able to do in his 2 NFL seasons?
Yeah, well, Jake's done a great job for us, and thought his recognition was well-deserved. He's done an outstanding job of changing field position in the punting game with the distance and hang time that he can hit for, but he's also done an excellent job on situational punting in the plus 50 area. He's a good holder. It's been a big part of Nick Folk's success. And, it's just given us a really 2 solid years, but really an outstanding year this year. And, Matt, I think is, on the way to probably going down as the greatest, special teams player of all time, as a core player. Not a specialist, but he's had a tremendous career and a tremendous year this year. And I thought his recognition also was well deserved. And of course, Steph is Steph out there. So happy for all 3 of those guys. I think it was, as I said, they earned the recognition and performed well.
And you're getting ready for the Bills on Monday night. The Bills clinched the division over the weekend. What have you seen from this team since you faced them last month?
Well, they continue to be a very consistent, well-balanced team. Offensively, defensively, in the kicking game, they play very solidly. Don't make a lot of mistakes. Force their opponents to earn everything they get, and they execute well. And they have good players, and those players have played well together. They're well coached. They're a good situational football team. They take advantage of opportunities and mistakes, and they've really played well all year long. They've been one of the most consistent teams in the league.
All right, it's time now for our Twitter question of the week. This one comes from @BrandonRoss99. 'Tis the season, Coach, and many people are wondering what gifts they will receive on Christmas morning. But let's talk about giving. Can you recall a Christmas morning where you gave a gift to one of your kids that got the best reaction?
Probably Amanda's dollhouse when she had been about 9 or 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. It was a bear to put together. You could stand in it. It was it was like an addition to our house in Cleveland. But yeah, it was quite a morning, and all that went with it. But yeah, that was it wasn't a fun one to put together, but it was worth it to see the look on her face on Christmas morning.
All that hard work just for moments like that. Thanks so much for the time, Coach. We'll catch up with you later in the Belestrator. We'll be back with more on Patriots All Access.
Coming up on All Access.
We'll look back at one of the most fantastic finishes in Patriots history.
And incomplete. Flag down!
But first, the wisdom of Ernie Adams.
We don't have a lot of people, oh, gee, I deserve the credit for this. I did that. I'm wonderful. We just don't function like that.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. By the Dan O'Brien Auto Group. Come in to any Dan O'Brien Auto Group store today and get your awesome protection plan, keeping it awesome. And by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots.
This is Dietrich Wise with the New England Patriots. Happy holidays, everyone.
Last week, we introduced you to the team's football research director, Ernie Adams. That title only tells a part of Adams' story. In part 2 of our behind-the-scenes series, presented by Bose, we continue our profile of Adams, who will regale you with a story that details how his football intellect is one of a kind.
How do you think we're looking here, Ernie?
Yeah, I just said, good job running the routes against.
He's at every practice.
Just trying to get our game plan honed as best possible.
He's on the field before the game.
So let's say we're playing a new quarterback, and we may have been studying my tape. I want to stand right behind him, see him throw the ball.
And in the coach's booth during the game.
What do you think, Ernie?
With a direct line to Belichick.
I think it's going to be closer than where they put it. I'm not sure if he's got it. Okay, we have a rule. Most important thing is everybody can hear. If you don't have a need to talk, keep your mic off. In fact, if you talk out of turn, you're going to get a little reminder very quickly about what not to do.
As Adams says, it's been a very successful relationship that has lasted here for more than 20 years, which has created an almost verbal shorthand between he and the head coach.
The shorthand is a really important part of the relationship because you usually anticipate what the other person's thinking, just like they anticipate what you're thinking, and you know what is important to talk about and what minutia doesn't need to be talked about.
For instance, if we talk at halftime, you don't have time for a 4-minute conversation, but in 30 seconds, we can cover a lot of ground. Hey, this is a problem. This is what we need to do to fix it. Yeah, because it's,
Yeah, I like that.
If there's guys who look, and that's...
Yeah, there'll be a couple of guys. Right.
He's always been a voice that could talk to Bill, and when I was there, to Bill, myself, and the group of us, in terms of speaking truth to power.
Those shared experiences can provide dividends down the road, like this one.
Okay, so I'll tell you probably my favorite. We were playing at the Giants late in the season, 1981. We had a game with the Rams. It's late in the game. We got to get a stop on defense. or the game's over. Sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. So we get a short yardage situation. Bill Parcells in his first year as a defensive coordinator, and he calls goal line defense. Well, you don't really play goal line defense out in the field on short yardage, because if they break through, they can run 60 yards for a touchdown because there's nobody left. But if it's the end of the game and they make 1 yard, the game's over, it doesn't matter. So we go goal line, we stop them, get the ball back. We weren't great on offense, but we were able to do enough just to win the game. So flash forward 20 years.
The temperature, 25 and snowing. In fact, a beautiful New England snowfall we had here tonight.
We're 2:15 to go in the fourth quarter of the snowball. Okay, we take our last time out, they get the ball 3rd and 1. So it's really simple. We're either going to get a stop and get another chance, or they get a first down, they're going to kneel on it 3 times, and all we get out of it's a cold ride home in the snow. And that situation, it just kind of triggered. You know, I hit the mic on my headset and says, "Hey, don't we want to go goal line here?" Yeah, that's the call. We go goal line. They're not really ready for it. They don't block Richard Seymour. It's hard to run up the middle against the Patriots if you don't block Richard Seymour. We stop them. You know, and that goes to the tuck rule, the field goal, you know, the whole blah, blah, blah. But it was just, you know, that won a game for us against the Rams in 1981 that I guarantee, and nobody remembers that game. Everybody in New England remembers the snowball.
He's played an integral part in 8 Super Bowl championships, 6 here with the Patriots. His low profile creating an almost mythical presence among Patriots fans.
One of the big reasons we've had success here is we don't have a lot of people, "Oh, gee, I deserve the credit for this. I did that. I'm wonderful." You know, we just don't function like that. I mean, it's just come in, do your job, try to get better every day, make the team better. And believe me, when you win in this league, there's plenty of recognition to go around.
You know, Ernie's a friend first and an associate second, but we've had a long history together and a good one. And I appreciate everything that he's done for me, which is a lot.
I cannot think of another person who deserves to be in the Patriots Hall of Fame more than Ernie Adams for all that he's done as a quiet leader, not just a contributor, but as a quiet leader in the organization over decades.
There's one more thing we wanted to know about Adams.
Because you're trained.
While it was cool to see him in his office as part of an NFL Films documentary, we couldn't miss pink stripes on the whiteboard behind him. Words that have become a sort of rosebud for an entire generation of Patriots fans.
That's proprietary football information.
Do you realize that people in New England are dying to realize, is that like the keys to unlock the nuclear code? Was this the play that helped beat?
Oh, you know what? Sometimes I think it's best to leave things to people's imaginations. So I'll let it go at that.
Hi, I'm Devin McCourty of the New England Patriots, and I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.
It was one of the wildest endings in Patriots history. In November of 1998, trailing the Buffalo Bills by 4, with just over 6 minutes remaining, Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots were down to their last play.
Snap to Drew, rolling left.
A Hail Mary attempt in the end zone would fall incomplete. But the referees rule pass interference.
Flag down in the end zone.
Leaving one untimed play left.
First and goal in motion, right to left is Purnell. Bledsoe, play action fake, end zone, touchdown, Ben Coates, the Patriots win! How about Drew Bledsoe?
A stunned Bills defense left the field, allowing kicker Adam Vinatieri to run in the 2-point conversion unopposed.
Adam Vinatieri runs for a 2-point conversion.
leading an improbable 25-21 victory.
From the offset eye, give to Harris, runs up the middle, across the 15, cut left at the 10, he's gone! Touchdown, Patriots! Allen pulls away, hands it off to Moss, runs through a big hole left side, across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. And the Bills win over the Patriots. The Patriots have now lost 4 straight.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. It's time now for the Belestrator. All right, Bill, 2 quick looks at the Bills.
Well, offensively, this is a very explosive team, and they utilize all their players. They substitute a decent amount and have different guys playing, but they like to line up in these 3 receiver sets with a back and a tight end and multiple formations, of course. But you know, it starts with the deep ball. You know, Allen's got a huge arm. You know, can rip the ball down the field, and you know, here you can see not only the arm strength but the accuracy. Puts it right on the money to Diggs. So you know, it starts with these home run balls, and then they have a lot of intermediate passes, catch and run plays, and the running game, and plus, you know, a very athletic quarterback that can extend plays and advance the ball with his legs as well. So you know, that's the type of play that you know, can change the game, change field position in a hurry, and they're very capable of making. Here's a situational play against the Chargers, where, you know, Allen, and let's say this is part of the experience that he's gained with the hard count, gets the defense to flinch here in the neutral zone. So offside on the Chargers, free play, and again, this is a good ball down the field to Gabriel Davis. Davis is their rookie wide receiver. Good size, and you can see he really goes up to the ball, but you know, there's almost no place to throw the ball here. He has to get it over the corner and still keep the receiver in bounds. He makes, you know, Allen makes a great throw here, and Davis makes a great catch. You know, again, on a good situational play, on a free play off the hard count, and the cadence. So just, you know, some examples of the type of things that Buffalo is doing very well this year. Quarterback, situational football, and a lot of guys making plays. Some of the old standbys, but also, you know, new players like Gabriel Davis.
All right, Bill, thanks so much for the time today. Best of luck to you against the Buffalo Bills, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. That dollhouse story, that's a keeper. I can only imagine you putting that thing together.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Megan. Well, certainly I didn't put it together by myself, but I had some help. But best wishes to you know, all the viewers, and thanks for your support all year long. You know, best wishes for 2021 as well.
And we'll be back with more on Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. And by Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots. Proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off.
I'm Joe Tooney with the New England Patriots. Happy holidays, everybody.
Here's a story to melt your hearts this holiday season. The Kraft family and the Patriots Charitable Foundation teamed up with Invisalign to help provide moments that make you smile. Pat Patriot and the Patriots cheerleaders visited 8 families around the Commonwealth to bring them some holiday cheer.
That's for you guys. Let me hold your football.
They delivered Christmas trees, stands, ornaments, and lights. There were gifts for the children and food for holiday meals.
I was asking for a football for Christmas. Whoa, now I got one.
Mommy, look how much stuff I got.
Oh my goodness. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You got it. Come on, ready?
Whoa. We have a lot of stuff. Look what I found.
Ooh, a Care Bear.
Thank you, brothers. You're going to be excited.
Yeah. Now you say bye to Pat.
Go fast.
Good job.
Ernie, I told Dad about this.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access, everyone. Bob's Just Gone Furniture Studios with my friends. Back with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. I know I sound like a broken record. We discuss this week in and week out. But where do we stand today with the quarterback situation?
Yeah, it's obviously a pressing matter, and people I think at this point want to see Jarrett Stidham. I frankly want to see Jarrett Stidham. I just have gotten to the point where a couple of weeks in a row now, not scoring any touchdowns with Cam Newton. It just doesn't seem to be getting any better. And to me, it's more of a physical thing with Cam, and I know he's not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to give him that excuse, Mike, because I know that I've seen him play at a much higher level in the NFL than he's been able to play on a consistent basis this year. And I think at this stage, what is to be lost by playing Jarrett Stidham? And I think for no other reason, Mike, find out if he can be a suitable backup.
Yeah. I took note of the tone shift from Bill Belichick. After the loss to the Rams, he was decisive. Cam's our quarterback. And then the next day said, that's the last time I'm going to answer that question. And then now that they've been eliminated from the playoffs, it was, we'll see. So I felt like, to me, that was a significant shift from Bill to at least acknowledge, like, I'm considering here which direction that I want to go. And, Steve, I think there's a couple ways to answer it. The short term, Jarrett Stidham, the next two games, I want to give Paul a little tip of the cap. You remember our shows earlier in the year. He was already determined that Cam wasn't coming back next year. I'm in Paul's camp now. I think we've seen enough to know that the accuracy and decision-making that they talk about here in New England over the years, Cam's not part of the future, in my view, here for the Patriots.
Steve, they all come around to my line of thinking at some point.
Eventually, sooner or later.
It takes a while, but they all get there.
All right, guys, let me throw this at you. If he does stick with Cam Newton, why would that be?
Yeah, I think, again, we've been answering these questions every week, and I think there are a lot of layers to them. And I do feel like there's some loyalty that he feels like he owes Cam, and maybe he wants to see it through, Mike, see him finish out the season. And I think for Cam, the ability to sort of show that he can hold up over the 16-game season. Now, he missed the one with COVID, but I'm talking about more for injury, reasons. I think maybe that might be why Bill Belichick has been really sort of adamant about sticking with him.
And maybe from the culture standpoint, the idea that all the players have seen Cam be the first guy in, the last guy out, voted a captain, and the idea of rewarding that. Hey, look, if this is the way you come in and work as a Patriot, I'm not going to pull the rug out from under you. It's not just a decision isolated to Cam. It's every player reacting to that. So if he pulls the plug on Cam now, maybe Bill is thinking, well, how's that going to be received by the rest of the players?
Was Cam the biggest problem the Patriots had on Sunday, or was the defense the bigger problem?
To me, the defense was, and I know the offense didn't score any touchdowns, and sometimes that can be as crippling to the defense as anything else when you're not getting any help, Mike. But to me, it's the run defense that really hasn't been fixed all year. There was that little stretch in the middle of the year, that Baltimore game, where everybody sort of took notice and said, wow, they shut down the Ravens' vaunted rushing attack. But really, that was an aberration, because before that and after that, they've had a lot of trouble. And to give up 250 rushing yards, Mike, to a team that was dead last in average yards per rush was eye-opening.
And without their top personnel, Paul. And so I think, to me, it was eye-opening from a personnel standpoint for the Patriots when I talked about Bill Belichick being motivated and how he puts the team together. I think in a lot of ways it's a wake-up call to say Miami just basically ran it down your throat. They said, yeah, they can't stop us. So I think that will be motivating for him, putting the team together going forward.
All right, it's my favorite time. Prediction time. What do you got?
Yeah, the luster's off at this point, but I'm going to go with Buffalo. I just think there's too much offense there, Steve. Josh Allen has really impressed me. I think that if you had told me 2 years ago he'd be a top 5 MVP candidate, and certainly at a notch well below Mahomes and Rodgers, but certainly a tremendous season. All the weapons they have on offense, too much. I'm going to say 31-16 Buffalo.
Yeah, I just don't see how the Patriots can keep up with that offense. I'll say Buffalo 27, Patriots 17.
All right, guys. Well, it's that time of year. Happy holidays to you. We'll see who's right.
You too, Steve.
On the other end. Thank you very much. That'll do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. For Mike Reese and Paul Barillo, I'm Steve Burton. Happy holidays, everyone.